So, hello everyone, I'm here in Tom... Do you want me to say your second name?
You can.
Tom Ridgewell's room. We're going to have a discussion about some stuff. First of all, I want to ask, why exactly did you want to do this?
Well, we were drinking last night.
We were.
I'm hungover, or ill. I can't actually tell which one it is. And I just thought it'd be interesting to weigh in on subjects that are more important than killing potatoes.
You mean the videos that I make?
Mm.
So, if you don't know already, Tom is a sort of minor internet celebrity. Also, what?
Thanks.
What?
Oh.
Tom goes by the name of TomSka on the internet. He's got like, is it nearly 200,000 subscribers now?
It will be.
He said that so... Oh, fuck my subscribers. It will be, and I hate every single one of them. And what kind of videos do you make?
Comedy ones. Stupid comedy ones aimed at special people.
And now he's decided that he wants to tackle some more hard-hitting issues. Yeah. So he naturally comes to me. Because that's the guy you come to when you want to talk about all kinds of really deep intellectual shit.
Mm. Well, Condell wouldn't have me.
I doubt he would. If you don't know, Tom is what I would describe as a lapsed Jehovah's Witness.
What does that mean?
Well, you grew up in a Jehovah's Witness house. You don't celebrate Christmas or birthdays. But you're not all that big on it, and I'm pretty sure...
It's not that I'm not all that big on it. I was raised in it, and... No. Let me just think that sentence through, actually. Yeah, it was more that I was raised in it, and I still am it, and I've got no negative feelings towards it, just...
But you don't really... There's a lot of...
I in no way regard myself as a good example.
Okay, but this is the thing. I've looked up a lot of the central beliefs of Jehovah's Witnesses, and I highly doubt you believe many of them.
I have sort of strayed a lot in my belief, my faith in all religion. It's incredibly hard not to when you look at all the things around, like when you watch all the YouTubers and you turn on the television. You're like, oh, reality. That's gross. Yeah, I mean, there's no denying I was raised as it. I don't consider myself a good example.
Okay, so
I'm not an apostate like I have.
Yeah, alright, so let's try and quantify this somewhat. Let's go for the fundamentals first. Do you believe in God?
I do. I think...
That's what I mean!
No, I believe it's more likely that there is a God than that there isn't one.
Based on?
My own sort of opinions looking around, and I'm like, everything is pretty cool.
Brilliant.
It's all pretty cool. I don't think this could have all just gone...
well, what's that? That's the origin.
That's how it happens. That's what you atheists believe, right? So it's just like...
Yep.
And then...
Essentially. We believe two particles came together, had sex, but it was really disappointing. And that created the vastness of the universe. So you believe that there is more than likely a God, based on the fact that you don't think that this universe and the vastness and entirety and the diversity of the universe and life could have arisen via non-divine methods or motives or whatever.
Yeah, I guess. I feel like someone made it all make sense. Even it doesn't mean it doesn't make sense, but someone made it make more sense. It's that down the sack track. A letter from man to God. No, a letter from God to man.
I've heard of the song.
Yeah,
I've heard bits of it, but I don't remember.
And one of the lines is, all the elements were already here long before I began. I just put them all together. I didn't make a long-term plan or something like that. And I kind of like that idea that, you know, like there's a God that like coexists with the universe and was just like. Right.
So I'm guessing you believe I guess you don't believe that the Earth is 6,000 years old.
No.
You don't believe that...
I think there's enough evidence.
You believe in evolution. You accept evolution.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have enough of an opinion on evolution to say I agree, but yeah, I mean, if it's the most scientifically supported thing, then I guess.
Right. Okay. So we can officially rule out the fact that TomSka is absolutely batshit crazy.
Sweet.
Now we just have to reconcile the fact that we have differing philosophical positions. Let me just state once again, like I always have to in my videos, what exactly my position is. I'm an agnostic atheist in that I don't know 100%. I don't know for 100% that it's definitely not a god. But based on the complete lack of evidence, I see it as foolish to assume that there is one.
So you're kind of the opposite to me, is where you think it's more likely than not.
I think, well, this is the thing. You seem more like, is it like 50-50 or is it like a 75-25 split?
Yeah,
because for me, it's like 99.99, as much as you possibly can get, while still maintaining that small.
It's more weighed in favour with me.
Okay.
Of the yes and the no.
Yeah, but what's the split?
Well, I mean, it could. Well, like I said, it could it's more like the not, so that could be 51-49.
Oh, okay, interesting.
Or it could be.
Yeah, well, my perspective is more.
But it's unlikely I will be tipped like the other way, so it's pretty like fun. Yeah.
I lack a belief in God because I have seen no evidence or convincing argument to suggest that one does exist.
But things are so cool.
Yeah.
Like there's so much things. Things are just crazy. Like if I think of the most impressive thing that I can think of, there are so many other impressive things that I haven't even thought about, and it's like so many impressive things.
And where do you go from like impressive things to supernatural entity? Where's that bridging link there?
I guess it's just like, that's so cool. I don't want to think about it, but it's really cool.
You sound a bit like John Keats. I think it's John Keats. I'm not sure if I'm definitely positive about the second name, but I'm not sure about John.
Because I mean, yeah, like my views on that, like on things are really cool. Like I think that it's not just like things are cool. I don't want to understand about them. They are just cool. God, like I think it's more like, you know, even if I did understand how they worked, I'd still be like, that's so cool. That I still
is that your fundamental belief? Like what it stems from then? That there's got to be a God because it's just so amazing that this couldn't have happened.
No, well, it's not even that this couldn't have happened. Yeah, it's, I think it's more likely than not that.
Like, all right, well, let's move it on from a bit from that because I think everybody who has ever watched one of my videos is probably sick to death of like the fundamental debate between, because I can see why people will be interested in debates between, say, a hardcore atheist and a conservative Christian, because it's just friction and it's angry and
but I don't know, because with those kind of people, neither is actually going to convince the other. So all you're going to see is these sparks, but you're not actually going to see any resolution. Like.
Well, that's the thing. I sometimes you don't watch videos for resolution. Sometimes you watch videos to see conservative Christians be like, if evolution's true, then how come black people? And I was like, I'll get that clip for you so I can prove that I said that. I didn't say his sorry, so I can prove that was said by someone.
We didn't like evolve from anything. That doesn't make any sense. I mean, how can like an African American person evolve from a white person? We're different skin.
Yeah, I mean, in all fairness, videos like that, like watching all the, you know, atheist uploaded videos and all the crazy Christian videos out there, like, has not damaged my faith. It's forced me to reassess my own faith, but it's pushed me away from the idea of organized religion, because I look at, you know, some people and I'm like, you're just crazy.
Yeah.
It's not crazy.
Let's talk about that, because I've been researching Jehovah's Witnesses.
Like most atheists, you probably know more about Christianity than me.
Oh, yes. For some reason, they believe that Jesus Christ is going to come back and rule the world for 1,000 years.
There are some oddly
in paradise before.
It's the oddly specific things that get to me as well. We're friendly.
Yeah, you come down to our houses, try and...
Yeah, but we don't... but we're not... Yeah, but, like, that's nice, because that's so much better than what you get, you know, I mean, go to town on a Saturday. Yeah. You're out going to hell!
That's the accent that guy has.
What is wrong with that guy? Like, what good is he doing? He's just... you can't force martyrdom. You can't stand in front of a train and go, for Jesus! You know? He's turning people away from, like, Christianity. He's just being an arse.
Yeah. One time I walked past and this guy was going, everyone's going to hell, everyone's going to hell. And these two, like, chavvy girls were like, but I've got a gay friend, is he going to hell? It was like, yeah, and it was like, oh, fuck you though, seriously, I've got a gay friend, he's really nice, he's not going to hell, he's really nice. I was looking through some of the Jehovah's Witness beliefs. One of them was that they're pretty literal in their interpretation of the Bible, although they do believe that some things are symbolic. The biblical literalism thing, I'm guessing that's something that you're not all that big on, as we've established. Were you ever at any point pretty literal about the Bible?
I never had the Bible really sort of forced on me. I took its teachings, but I always took its ethics, you know, apart from the odd crazy one, but I never really got that into it to find out it was on my own accord, but like, I always took them as, you know, sort of like stories, you know, like the Noah's Ark thing, and it's all like nice things, but it's when you, but what I appreciate is dangerous when people try to definitely say those are like real, like Noah's Ark. It's like, yep, that happened, definitely happened. I'm like, I don't think it did.
Obviously, one of the most notable, well-recognised beliefs of Jehovah's Witnesses is the views on blood transfusion.
That's not really. Well, I guess that is a belief, yeah.
What?
Sorry.
I didn't actually manage to.
I do know about this one.
Do that much research into why this is.
It's a bit outdated now, because one of the primary reasons was that, you know, it's unhealthy and you can get diseases through it, and it's like, well, yeah, that was the argument when it started, but it's got better now.
Really? So it's not like an actual.
Well, it's not as
belief. It's.
No, but there is a belief that once blood is spilled, it cannot be like consumed. I forget the actual quote, but it's like once blood touches the ground or something, and it's taken. It's one of those kind of things where it's been interpreted, so like that once blood has left the body,
it's
contaminated. It's gone. It's done. Don't put it back in your body, or it's not clean. So that's why you have things like the machines where during surgeries it takes all your blood out, runs it through a machine, then puts it back in, so it never actually hits air or hits oxygen.
Yeah.
So that's it's kind of loopholes. I think there's a lot of Jehovah's Witnesses out there that say that they would, you know, uphold it and die, but if your own kid suddenly, if you know, doctors like, you know, your kid's going to die unless you accept this blood transfusion, I think a lot of people would have to. It'd be really tough decision to.
What about you?
Really make. I think I would, because I think it's an interpretation of it's become a quite corrupted interpretation, because it's not like a commandment, it's not like a thing that's stated in the Bible. It's one of those things where it's been interpreted, and it's not only just been interpreted, it's been translated. It's one of those tacked on beliefs that came with modern science.
Do you think that Jehovah's Witnesses is a misunderstood denomination of Christianity?
It gets a lot of flack, but the flack is typically really quite, you know, harmless. Yeah, in pop culture, it's just Jehovah's Witnesses. You know, no one ever really goes in for an attack, because there really isn't anything that wrong with Jehovah's Witnesses. There are things that are a bit harsh, like disfellowshipping.
What's that?
That is basically with Jehovah's Witnesses. You're not baptized at birth. Okay. It's a choice. You have to really bone up, learn loads of things, and you get quizzed, and then you get baptized.
Okay.
And so it's actually really hard to be baptized, and in doing so, you're saying, you know, I will now live by this 100%. I will. It's bestowing on yourself more responsibilities within the religion.
And what's the benefits?
The benefits are you can be things like publishers, and publishers are people, they get to. You get to be a publisher. You can just do more higher ranking things. You get to be like an elder. You get to be a speaker. You get to, you know, like at the meetings. That's what they're called. At the meeting, you get to. It makes it sound really creepy, doesn't it?
It does.
I know. I always hear that. It is a bit. I mean, whenever I say where are you going, I kind of end up always just saying church. But no one ever calls it that. It's called the meeting at the Kingdom Hall. But it's like saying, when you say the meeting, I always had this, people like, the meeting, the gathering. It's really creepy. But that's some of the benefits from getting baptized. But the problem is if you then if you start breaking the rules, I could break the rules and I can't get a fellowship because I'm not baptized, but if you start breaking the rules, then you can get disfellowshipped, and disfellowshipping is really, really bad. You get cut off, and it's all other baptized Jehovah's Witnesses can't talk to you anymore, even family. So it's like the harshest part of the religion. Yeah,
that sounds like the way that, you know, a lot of religions do that. Probably the most notable one is Scientology now, because they're known for doing that.
I see all these videos online. You know, if you search in Jehovah's Witness, I mean, I was pretty much just told don't do it. Don't search Jehovah's Witness online, just because of
by who?
All my parents, and I think it is just sort of an accepted thing, just don't do it, because you're just going to see like all this apostate stuff that's trying to turn you away from it.
Okay.
And if the youth go looking, they're just because there are no like counter arguments that are painting Jehovah's Witnesses in a positive light, and it's well, I mean there are a few, but there's not enough because they're all kind of
So this is what you want to be the positive light.
Not even the positive light. I mean, I am my own human being. I was raised a Jehovah's Witness, but I wasn't that tight in it from the ages of about 10 to sort of 16 or so. So I kind of took this foundation of being raised in it, and then went through adolescence. My teenage years. My angsty teenage years of learning about how I was never really a nice person, but learning about life. So I think I came out like this really well-rounded kind of person in my views because I had this foundation, but not this craziness that can come from growing up your whole life in religion and not being born again, being born, period, and just growing up. So I have loads of my own sort of unique opinions, but I'd love. And from this video, I have not put Jehovah's Witnesses in a good light. My parents see this video, they're probably just gonna. My dad's probably gonna have some words for me, but I'd like there, to be an outlet where we don't just all look like terrible people.
I don't think out of all the people who get ragged on online by atheists, Jehovah's Witnesses
are
pretty high up.
I never really see it.
It's generally fundamentalist Islam and Christianity.
I never really see anyone having a go at Jehovah's Witnesses, or I probably would weigh in. I'd probably get my camera and be like, "Oh, shut up."
Obviously, religion does get quite involved in politics occasionally.
So that's a Jehovah's Witness thing, is to stay out of politics, like to just don't get involved in the law of man.
Okay, so you say that the Jehovah's Witnesses don't really involve themselves in politics.
Vote.
You don't vote?
Mm.
You don't?
I've never voted because never really had opportunity to. I mean, I've certainly never registered to vote. I guess that's more my own apathy than anything else.
But Jehovah's Witnesses don't vote?
No, Jehovah's Witnesses as a whole.
So they don't do anything to do with the government that might work in their interest?
Yeah, they just keep out of that. They just go have fun, people. They stay out of the world.
That is absolute. That's probably one of the most bizarre beliefs. Actually, I think I'm quite shocked by that. I have read some Jehovah's Witnesses opinions on things like abortion and like that, but they don't vote in it. So Jehovah's Witnesses. I think the official standard is that they believe it's murder.
I think that's not even. That's not even specific of sort of Jehovah's Witnesses, is it? Because it's
no, but it is a belief of Jehovah's Witness. But they won't.
I mean, abortion is. See, I guess they could just suddenly get really heavy, and with this video could digress. But I mean, abortion I think is killing a baby. I'm not going to use words like murder because it's just melodramatic.
Right.
But I think it is a life. I think from the moment of.
But this is the thing life. That might actually I think probably would annoy religious people.
This is me personally, at least.
Okay, this is the thing that I think actually would annoy religious people from my perspective. I don't really care if it's life. I care if it's sentient life that can feel and experience and perceive, and especially pain as well. But if it's a cluster of cells, why is that something that needs to be preserved? Especially if this could be possibly raised in a horrible situation. It could endanger the mother's life in some cases.
Yeah, I mean,
why is
I think it's case by it's kind of case by case. I'm not pro-choice. I'm not pro-life. I think it's you can't just be one or the other.
But you just said it's murdering a child.
No, I didn't say murder. I said it's
it's
killing. It's terminating is the word they use. It's terminating a life, and I don't necessarily condone that. But that's just what I think. I think it is killing. I think it's making a life and going, and it doesn't necessarily even make me sad. That's just.
Okay, so it's basically just the term you're using.
Yeah, but.
Okay, what about? I'm just trying to go through some issues.
I would rather not abort a baby than abort a baby, unless I found out that it was going to kill my partner or.
Well, that's the thing. People seem to assume that pro-life people seem to think that pro-choice people are like, abortions for everyone, let's all get abortions. Hey, come to my clinic and I'll scrape out your vagina. Nobody wants shitloads of abortions. Pro-choice people just recognise that it has to happen in some cases.
Yeah, I mean, rape babies, they probably shouldn't That's kind of horrible. I would hate to grow up and find out. But then again,
I think it's
if I was a rape baby, I would hate to grow up and find out that I came from rape, but I'd still rather exist.
I think that's more to do with the woman, though, isn't it?
The rape baby thing is one of the biggest contributing things, isn't it?
Well, yeah, it's generally rape and incest, and I think it's more to do with the woman. If a woman is raped, it doesn't matter in this case. I suppose we're talking about rape specifically. It doesn't matter who by. Do you think it's fair? Obviously, I don't think you do, but like, I can't understand how anyone, Jehovah's Witness or not, can think it's fair to make that woman carry that baby to term. They didn't plan that. They didn't want that baby. At the moment of they're pregnant at this point, but it's all it is a cluster of cells.
I think, yeah. I guess when you talk about abortion, it just comes. The first thing you think of is this little baby, and you're going, it does start out very young. So, I think, I guess I haven't really thought about it enough to define my own point of when is too far. Because there's those people that argue that it's not a sentient life until it comes out of the womb, and it's like like even 8 months, and I mean obviously I disagree with them massively, but I guess there is a point when it's still nothing and it hasn't even formed. I just haven't thought on that enough.
I'm interested now because you said that Jehovah's Witnesses don't vote.
Mm-hmm.
Having said that, I've read that they do have positions on varying issues. Like, for instance, they advocate families that are essentially patriarchal in nature. They have a father who is the head of the household. They might believe that
Men.
Yeah, they might believe that the father can.
Women. Yeah, women are not. There is. Women are things.
Objects to be used.
I've never really looked into it, and it's never really been brought to my attention the treatment of women in the Jehovah's Witness arrangement. But you never get the women in the positions of power or.
Yeah. Well, that's this.
And this isn't in the home or anything. This is in.
Yeah.
At the meeting, they're not the ones doing the talks. They're not the elders.
Well, this is not Jehovah's Witnesses, but at the moment there's a lot of controversy over proposals in the Anglican.
There are no priestesses.
Yeah, in the Anglican denomination of Christianity, who are proposing that they'll start letting women hold power in those ways, and many Anglican people are converting to Catholicism, Roman Catholicism, because they have such a problem with women being in positions of power. And you'll get people like Anne Widdecombe, who was an Anglican, became a Catholic because she disagreed with it. And her response about it was, a woman can no more understand the mind of Jesus than a man can understand the mind of Mary, which is fucking bullshit, because it wasn't like Jesus was walking around being like, right, all my opinions come from the fact that I have a penis. His beliefs were not coming from the fact that he was a man. Likewise...
He never suffered the woman's curse, though.
Oh, we're going to take it there. I know what the official stances of Jehovah's Witnesses are about things like abortion, is murder, family makeup. I think the general consensus in Jehovah's Witness is that a man can consult his wife and even his children, but ultimately he has the final say.
I've never really witnessed religion be called into a foot-putting down situation.
Okay.
So I've never seen it happen in my home, or if I have, I've been very oblivious to it.
What about homosexuality?
The views, Jehovah's Witnesses' views on homosexuality is the same with, any Abrahamic religion, really.
That it's bad.
Yeah.
Okay. So, what? That's what Jehovah's Witnesses, like the official stance is. What do you believe?
I think everyone should stop being dicks to each other. But no, I see. The thing with homosexuality is I just say one sentence poorly worded, and I am the devil.
What's that sentence?
And it is that I do think that homosexuality is a sexual abnormality. And I don't say that, but everyone takes that and thinks that means it's a bad thing, and I'm like, no, I just think it is a.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. It's like
sexuality, and
it's like what is normal, what is natural. A blowjob is unnatural.
Yeah,
is a penis supposed to go in a mouth?
And it's like that. it's, you know, up there with just one of those. It is a thing, but I don't think you should be, you know, killed for it or banned from your family or anything or changed. But
do you think they should get rights?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, I don't. They're human beings.
See,
I think the ones that talk with that say bitches.
Well,
need to just stop saying.
You mean like Chris
bitches.
Crocker?
Oof.
He pisses me off as well.
Does anyone who talks like that? Hey, bitches! You know, I.
The worst.
Stop
thing.
it!
Have you seen Chris Crocker's music video?
I haven't.
It is.
I am so glad I haven't.
Fucking hilarious. It's amazing. It's called Freak of Nature, and it starts off. You know, how at the start of like hip hop and R&B videos, there's like a talking bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like over the start of the music, he goes, "It's Chris Crocker. You know, some people think I'm a freak of nature. I think they're right." And it just goes into this stupid like R&B inspired pop beat, and he's going, "Get ready for the club." It's horrible. It's horrible. It's
So what you're trying to say is that you hate homosexuals.
You don't even want to know. I despise them with everything I have.
He is here. He's queer.
He's incredibly irritating. So you see it basically as a deviation from the norm, but not something that should render you like unequal.
Yeah, it's you know.
Well, this is another thing,
and it's not comparable, and that's I have to stress that. But you know, people with specific fetishes and it's just like it's just their thing. It's fine.
Right.
I don't swear online, nothing. I mean, but I think crappy is just one of those sort of low level words like fart. You know, but I won't use any big swear words online or.
That's nothing to do with the Jehovah's Witnesses?
No, it is. Jehovah's Witnesses don't swear.
Really?
Yeah.
That's fucking lame.
But
say fuck.
No.
Say it.
No, it's not happening.
Why? Why don't you swear?
I like the constriction of not actually swearing it online, and I think swearing does kind of make you look stupider.
Yeah, when it's used excessively.
Yeah, but I just don't. I mean, I appreciate that swear words are so necessary in some comedy, like Aston Movie 3, the screw gravity bit. That would have been 3 times funnier if it was the F word, but
fuck gravity.
See, it's so
Why
much.
won't you say it?
I wanna work within that limitation. That's a limitation I'm happy working with.
Yeah, but like, in your videos, but in real life, you're not saying it. You don't say it very often. You make a concerted effort not to swear as much as possible. Why is that? Is that something that comes?
Good.
From
It was part of my moral fibers when I was raised in it. But then it also forces you to use better words, like to think. And when it comes to
like
insult,
screw and crap and fart.
Well, there's the instances when I have to, or you have to swear, but there are alternatives. But it's like if you're having an argument with someone, you of all people should know this. You know, if you're not swearing, you're going to be forced to be like, you confounding, and you're going to use these great words. And if you're just like, oh, you are gay,
they just make you appear silly.
No,
confounding.
they don't. No, well, yeah, confounding. Obviously, that's a silly example. But you're going to use like these really vile, like biley words. You know,
bilious.
Bilious. There you go. Yeah, you use these bilious words and you make arguments and insults so much better if you're not swearing. Insults just sound really generic, like hello.
Yeah, fuck you is exactly the same as hello.
It is. It's up there. Like now, it holds about as much weight as a greeting. It's not an insult anymore. No one very few people hear that and go, oh, I'm so offended. Getting told I was going to hell was one of the biggest things that shook up my faith. When I was a few years ago.
When I was a few years ago.
When I
was a period of time.
A few years ago, and by a few I mean actually it was more like 5 or so. I was walking around town back in Cambridge, and there was this guy on his little soapbox, just doing the Christian thing, and he was amazing. Like I watched this guy for about half an hour. It was amusing to watch, and at the end of it, I walked up to him and was like, "Hey man, I just want to say I may not agree with everything you say, but I find your like sort of debating skills really impressive. Like the fact like you know what you're talking about so much. It wasn't even on a I'm a Jehovah's Witness level. It was just you are really impressive. Watching you talk was really cool. Like a guy juggling really well. And he was talking. He's like, oh yeah, thanks man, that's really cool. Yeah. You should come along to church or something. And I was like, oh well, actually I'm a Jehovah's Witness. And then his face just dropped. He was like, well, you're going to hell. Huh? It was like, you are going to burn in hell for all eternity unless you repent now, because you're wrong. And it was like, I don't know, it was hearing those words freaked me out so much that this guy, his demeanor just changed to tell me that I'm going to burn in hell, and that he's, he's wishing the worst possible torture on me for eternity. And it's like, oh, and it shook me up. It shook my perceptions of sort of religion and what it does to people so much, and it scared me. Like, and for the first time ever, I was briefly like afraid of hell, like, because this guy made it real. This guy like made it so real all of a sudden. There's this thing, and it scared me, and it made me really.
That's one of my biggest issues with religion.
Mm.
Like, obviously, there are religious people out there that don't believe that everybody who doesn't believe exactly as they believe is going to hell, and I have no problem with those religious people. But when people start saying, if you have an abortion, you're going to hell. If you don't believe in God, you're going to hell. If you are gay, you're going to hell.
And that
pisses me off.
That is such a problem. That right there is one of the biggest fundamental problems I find with organised religion, is that these minor differences are what are making people go to hell, and then it gets down to the level of, you haven't rolled up your socks, you're going to hell. You look like a slut because of this, you're going to hell. And then it's just like, so if there's such minor differences, then who's to say who is right? There is no way that you can be in the right one. That's why I just like Jehovah's Witnesses, because they don't believe in hell at all.
Yeah.
So
the thing is, this is another thing that is quite interesting. Jehovah's Witnesses don't believe in hell at all. They don't believe that there is a place where bad people go to burn in hell. They think that bad people will just stop existing, and that sucks to be them.
Yeah,
good people
and good people as well stop existing.
I thought good people got brought up to a place.
The way it goes is everybody dies. You just die, and when you die, there's no other consciousness. Like,
okay.
And it is actually this really interesting. I was like, oh, that's actually really well rounded. Like, when people die, they just die.
Yeah.
Like, and they're gone. The atheist view of things, basically. You die, your brain shuts off. There's nothing left. It's just a corpse.
Yeah.
And you die. And the way it comes around is that but in the future, after Armageddon, after everyone's dead, if you've been a cool guy, God will bring you back and be like, hey.
Bring you back to heaven or bring you back to earth?
Both. There's there is the 4,400 that go to heaven.
144,000.
Shut up. 144,000 go to heaven. I mean, I'm not even going to get into that. That is,
and
that's something I don't know enough about to even talk about. But the 144,000, right? The big number of people go to heaven, and those are the chosen. There is a word. There is a anointed. They are the anointed. Good for them.
Yeah.
And then everyone else gets resurrected on to the new system, the Earth again.
Okay.
And that's it. Is that you got the 144,000 up in heaven going. Being all angeling, and then you've got everyone on Earth. The definition of who's coming back is actually really lax. Like it's as far as I know, it's not actually just Jehovah's Witnesses. It's just good people, and it's like, okay, that's actually cool. But
so only Jehovah's Witnesses will go to heaven, but good people in general will come back to Earth.
That is my understanding of it, I believe. Yeah, it's confusing.
I'm guessing you don't believe much this particularly.
I think if I'm going to believe anything, that's one of the best things to believe, really.
Well, yeah.
If I believe something, it's like, oh, that's pretty cool. So,
yeah.
If you're cool, if you're not a big old douche,
yeah, okay.
And it works better than just magical, spiritual, you go float up to heaven, and then...
Well, that's essentially what it is.
It's more of a God remembers you, and it's just like, hey, guys, I made a new world, one that wasn't rubbish. This one was better, no apples. No apples. Yeah, you live here now. It's like, oh, cool. Good to be back. Why am I the same age as my granddad? It's kind of weird.
So you do believe that there is some form of heaven?
That's not, I'm not even going to go there. That's not even. I can't even say I do or don't believe that. I don't know. I won't assume to know.
Okay.
I don't think we can know. I think people who say they know are wrong. You can't know. It's one of those things you just can't know.
Right. So why did I do this? Because it's interesting to interview people with a different perspective to you. Also, I've learned new things about Jehovah's Witnesses. things I agree with, I think are good, like the fact that it doesn't necessarily have a permanent hell, which I think is a good thing. But also the fact that they don't vote is quite shocking to me. I don't understand that at all. And also I wanted to see where Tom fit into how his beliefs were the same and how they were different
to the norm.
And again, in summation, if
why do you hate Christmas, Tom?
If any of you have any questions for Tom, based on the fact that he's a Jehovah's Witness, or just you've heard something that you think you're interested by or you disagree with, you can leave a comment and we might do this again, or you can leave a video response and he will try and respond to that.
Why you done woke me up on Sunday morning? I was having sleep. I was dreaming about Scarlett Johansson. She were touching my special place. Well, yeah, any other issues we have to tackle?
Yes.